So I unfortunately have a little bit of kind of bad news. I have a knee injury, actually sort of a couple knee injuries that I've been dealing with for a little while. Been kind of quiet about it because it doesn't matter too much. It's not what my content's about. But my training is going to be very different than usual. So I've been doing weightlifting and powerlifting, powerlifting less so, but weightlifting, bodybuilding, that sort of thing, for the last, I guess, 4 years since the start of college, even a little bit before. So that's involved a lot of heavy squats, a lot of heavy deadlifts. So by lifting heavy too much and by pushing myself too fast, by not ramping up training properly, and also trying to run during this time and like pushing myself for endurance sports and lifting sports at the same time, I've done some damage to my knee. So I have an MCL sprain, I have a minor meniscal sprain, I have some fissuring and fraying of the cartilage behind my patella. So all of that is actually relatively good news. We thought it could have been a meniscus tear, which would suck, or plica syndrome, or an MCL tear potentially. It's all pretty decently okay, which is nice. But it means I probably won't be able to squat and deadlift anymore, at least not being able to do so and keep my knee super healthy. And it's just something I don't want to do anymore at this point because I've done it. I've had my fun. I've deadlifted insane amounts of weight. I've pushed myself to be really strong. And I want to get fast again. I used to be a huge runner, and I've decided to get back into that. So as much as it's bad news about the fact that the activities I've done have sort of damaged me a little bit, it's good news in that I can refocus and do something new. So I am not allowed to run for like a month at least. I can't do any impact on my knee for at least a month to let it heal. So I'll be in the gym doing the elliptical, doing the stationary bike, and then upper body stuff for like a month. After that, I have some big goals with running that I want to get to, but I can't sort of approach those until I get past recovery. So we'll discuss those then. But today's my first day back doing anything with my leg after a hike that I did, which sort of put it out for a while. Very excited to get back to it, and I thought I'd take you with me. And because of what's going on, I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about motivation. People ask me sometimes how I get motivated, how I stay motivated, and I thought I'd talk about that today because it's something I'm dealing with directly. But we'll talk about that after the workout. Let's go to the gym. It's raining outside, so we have the anti-drip drip. It's good stuff. It's big, rainy. It's kind of gloomy out today, but we're gonna be the sunshine. We're gonna be that sunshine today. You already know it. Okay, on the elliptical. Never used one before, but it's going okay. My legs are dead. They've been on rest for 2 weeks, so feeling it for sure, but it's good. It's good to move. Okay, elliptical done. This is my new friend. It was fabulous. So good to move again. Legs are definitely tired, and it was mostly pain-free, so good stuff. I'm doing the rest of my upper body stuff, but it's kind of busy, so I might not film it. I don't like to get other people in there, so see you in a bit. Okay, gym is done. I did pull-ups. What else did I do? Dips. I did lateral raises, and then I did some abs. But it was fabulous. I feel so good. It's so good to have my knee at least moving again. So I gotta buy hair gel. I hate talking to this in front of everyone in the street. It's so weird. I need to buy hair gel because I'm growing my hair out. So going to do that. Okay, I actually just stopped filming to take a call from my dad because he's helping me put together my new training program to rehab my knee and get back on the road. So very excited. Anyway, the first thing I want to note about motivation is that I come from a background that's very motivated. My dad being a key example. Both my parents are incredible athletes. My dad is a multiple-time Ironman triathlete, one of the best in the world in his age group. Incredible. My mom is an amazing marathon runner, and I think she's participated in a group in ultra marathons as a relay. I don't know if she's done one herself. I think she might have. But she's like gone to other countries and run like trails in the mountains, and incredible athlete. My younger sibling was a water polo demon for a while. Got invited to play, I think, on the Spanish national team for a bit. I don't know. I don't remember all the details. But, everyone in my family works really hard at whatever we're passionate about. And so that is just how I grew up. That's like the family culture. And so a lot of my motivation is ingrained in me. And I started training when I was 3.5. I was doing karate, and then I went to Taekwondo, did that till I was like 11. But I started really young, and my family is very motivated, and everyone is very consistent. So having those things around me made it much easier for me to develop that within myself. But if you don't come from a similar background, don't be discouraged. You just might be approaching it at a later date. I just got started really early. So I had an advantage there, which was awesome. Very grateful for it. So Wanted to give that context. In terms of actual advice I have for staying motivated, talking about how I do it, the first thing is goal setting. I think there are some big nebulous goals you can have in life, professional ones, personal ones, whatever. I think those are subject to the most change, like the big dreams you have in life, because you inevitably learn more things about the world, about whatever those things are. I wanted to go to be a doctor, learn more about what that looked like, and didn't like it anymore. Didn't want to go do that. So the big dreams, those are far off, and I like to have an idea of that, but I don't want that to dictate everything about my life. So I like to have those in mind. At a young age, I like to have those in mind. I think when I get older, like my dad, for example, has these goals for his life that are more set in stone because he has more experience and can see what's conceivable. Whereas at my age, like I'm sort of still learning a lot of things, and I think we all do throughout life, but I don't have as much experience to say this is achievable, this is something I want to do. So my big dreams are a bit more nebulous for the moment. But when it comes to getting to those things, like I do have them in mind so that I work towards what they are over time. And then from there, when it comes to actual goal setting, I break those big things down into smaller categories, which are smaller goals. And then I just go smaller to a daily level, literally to what I have to do each day to get to the first big goal, to get to the next big goal, to build up and then reach that point that I want to reach. So the way that manifests is I write it out. I actually have a note sheet in my notes app with bullet points, and I check off every task I do. I get up in the morning or do it the night before, depending on if I plan ahead or not. Sometimes I wake up and I'm just like, I fell asleep early the night before. But I write out all the goals, all the things I need to do for the day to achieve whatever the next step of goal is. Write those down, and then as I go through the day, I check them off. It makes my brain feel very happy when I check something off. And having those things there makes me feel content because I'm working towards what I want. And it's right there in front of me, and I can do it, and I'm achieving those little goals to get the big goals. So essentially goal setting plus journaling together. It's not like I don't journal about my feelings often. I think I should, but I find that difficult to do because I'm very critical of my own writing. I would like to write more. I'd love to publish something wonderful one day, but I'm very critical of my own writing. So I have a hard time writing out my feelings and stuff because I'm like, the sentence structure sucks. So I find that writing lists of goals is a bit easier, and I can take notes on those goals, which is sort of how I journal. But yeah, writing things out and goal setting together, amazing strategy. The next thing is a bigger concept, which is getting advice. I get advice from a lot of different avenues. One is books. That's the one I want to note on first, because I think if you're in a position where you're getting into something new or you don't have a lot of people to talk to about this, books are a very accessible and consistent way to get the information. I love The Alchemist. The Alchemist taught me that, the belief, maybe not the principle, that if you work towards something and you put all your effort that you can in and you really desire it and you're passionate, then that thing will come to you. And if it doesn't come to you, it's not meant to be. I have a lot of life experiences that have sort of shaped up that way. But I thoroughly and firmly believe that if you work as hard as you can at something, and you do it with integrity and it matters to you and you're passionate, then it'll come your way. And if it doesn't, you'll probably get something better. And that's the way my life is shaped up so far. So I got that from The Alchemist. There are a lot of other wonderful books out there as well. I think Ishmael was great for me. I'm currently reading How to Win Friends and Influence People. Fabulous. But books are a wonderful resource. And then you can get specific. So if you're getting into running, like Born to Run, fabulous book. If you're getting into whatever your interest may be, there's definitely books out there that can help you find motivation and find inspiration and find ways to achieve things in a reasonable way. I said ways too much, but that's fine. The other sources of advice, I think, are peers. Peers are an incredible resource because they're going through it with you. It's easy if you're in school. It's harder if you're not. But to talk to someone who's doing what you're doing and see what else they're doing that you might be able to do. I'm repeating myself so much, but you know what I mean. Trial and error like that with other people that you're going through something with is fabulous. And I think the biggest resource for advice is mentors, for lack of a better word. But I talk to my parents for advice a lot. I talk to people in my field that I respect, friends I have that are further along than I am in certain things. And in school, I would talk to my professors a lot, like people who have gone through something that I'm looking to go through and grow from, or that I'm currently dealing with. Like, they're an incredible resource, and gaining motivation from the fact that they've been able to do it, and also gaining knowledge about how to do it from the way that they're telling you to do it is incredible. So I get a lot of motivation, inspiration, and also like legitimate procedural knowledge of how to get things done from mentors, books, peers, advice. The third thing sort of loops into the first, but it's passion. So it sort of ties into goal setting and dreams, in that like I think you shouldn't make a goal or have a dream if you're not truly passionate about it. If you're doing it for someone else, if you're doing it because you think you should do it, whatever. Making passion a separate thing because it deserves that attention. If you don't genuinely feel good about something and want to do it and feel passionate about it, don't pursue it, because then you're just going to be plugging along and it's going to be impossible to find motivation because you don't want to do it in the first place. I think there are times where you need to suspend pleasure, for lack of a better word. Like if you're going through something that is really hard and it's on the path to something you want to do that you're passionate about, it might suck for a while. That's one thing. It's another thing to do something that you just objectively hate and don't see any point in and don't want to get to the end goal, and because then you're just suffering for no reason. In any event, to sum this section up, if it matters to you, go forward with it and you'll find motivation from that. Anyway, those are all the points I have for today. I need to go stretch my leg because that is the first step in my rehab plan. So I'm going to be stretching this guy, and I need to eat because I'm so hungry, and then I want to try my new hair gel. I've actually got a lot more real work to do after this as well. So gonna get to the grind today. Very excited. Anyway, I hope those ideas help in some way, or you find them interesting or motivational in their own right. And that is all. Thank you for being here. And as always, have a great day.